Speaking of Ricochet, so he responds. So, like, we get some confirmation. I don't know why this is in AEW news. It should have been in Sickos, but Team YouTube responded to Samantha Irvin and said, "Thanks for your patience here while our team was investigating." So, this is what YouTube says. Wording is everything. They didn't say you were shadow banned. I promise, and I'm going to explain why. But they say confirming that this was not working as it should, and we fixed the issue. Your video should be showing up normally in search now. It always was. We confirmed it. Everybody searched it. It showed up normal. Getting shadow banned on YouTube doesn't explain 8K Spotify. Now, Ricochet goes, remember when you idiots thought she was lying about being shadow banned? Right. Explain the Spotify numbers. I'm going to explain something right now. There's racist AI songs that people have made that have millions of views on YouTube. And I'll explain this a little bit. YouTube didn't just cop to. What they confirmed is that this was not working as it should. What does that even mean, bro? That doesn't mean they didn't just cop to shadow banning her music, or else every right-wing grifter podcaster's got a lawsuit on their hands. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, if they just admitted to shadow banning over this wrestler's song that didn't do good on Spotify either, what's the Apple Music plays? We can look that up too, right? So we're not going to sit here and pretend it was like shadow banned. But here's where I'll give her this. And we talked about this a little bit before. But I said it was still the first thing when anyone searched that doesn't explain 8K Spotify plays. If it was shadow banning, YouTube just admitted to doing that publicly. And now every right wing. Yeah, so I tweeted this out. Or the song just didn't pop and they're being nice. Here's the other thing. And I'll give her this. And I wrote this. If anything, and I'll give her this, being called the bomb is likely to set up all types of unwarranted triggers by YouTube. So if you write, for instance, I made a video about Cena getting hit with a bottle. To me, I'm like, yeah, I think it could be suppressed. When there's violent stuff, when it's like this guy shoots on this guy, I don't put that in my titles because I know what that process is going to be like. There's going to, I'm going to have to talk to people until they go, oh, when this channel shoots, don't suppress their video. You guys get what I'm saying? Yes, violence and guns and maybe the bomb. I'll give her that. Maybe it flagged something, and so they suppressed her video. I'll give maybe that, but there's no copping to shadow banning here or whatever. And Ricochet knows that again. He's just healing, jumping, doing what he knows will get people to react to it. But that's good. Good for her if it's getting more views now. But we'll check back in a month. And when it doesn't, when the views are still at not much more than what they're at now, dude, I mean, what's going to be... Well, it got shadow banned at first. Okay, let's see the next single then. See, back in the day as well, getting a music video to blow up was the way to go. And I'm just telling you guys this from just working in and around the digital marketing thing. Getting a music video to blow up and go viral isn't the way to go. I'm trying to think of an artist like who really had a video that went, oh, this is viral now because the video. That's not what you need to focus on. Get people listening to you on Spotify. 1 million listeners, if you're making music, 1 million listeners on Spotify, about 100,000 of them will go watch your music videos on YouTube. Music videos, like, unless you're doing content creation, like I'm going to vlog, film my tour, drop music videos, unless you're like Jake Paul, that's not the move. You don't promote videos on World Star anymore like you guys did. You don't do that. That's such like a 10-year-old thing to do. Ricochet has praised AEW for allowing him to be himself and flow creatively. And he tells Battleground Podcast, just being able to creatively let me flow and be myself, being able to show the world myself, my character, AEW has allowed that. They've allowed me to go out there and try things, whether it works or it doesn't work. They let me go out there and open up creatively, which is honestly the reason we got into it. The creativeness, it's an art form that we live for. I've lived my whole life basically doing this. Being able to be myself is awesome. It's been great to agitate. Yeah, dude, just you don't want to cross over into the go away heat territory to where you start to go babyface and they just completely and utterly reject you. But I want you guys to understand something. He doesn't give a fuck about WWE. He doesn't care if AEW closes down tomorrow either. If it closes down tomorrow, he still gets his money. And he will just go do dates in like other companies. You think he couldn't go sign to TNA? And he's made enough money. He's a multimillionaire. If he's been smart with his money, he's a couple million, probably at least. If he's been smart with his money, over the years, which he likely has. And so when he's like, fuck WWE, I hate WWE, it doesn't really matter. He doesn't give a shit. And it doesn't matter. He's already been there, did that for like how many years? 7, a decade close to. So however many years he was there. And so he doesn't care, because let's say this is the last contract he ever signs. He's locked in. He probably made enough money on this deal to not even have to work again if he's smart with his money. Why would he give a fuck? Of course he doesn't care if like it's just go away heat from WWE fans. He'll just cater and do what he has to do, and he can go get booked in Japan if he's like, oh, I need a quick, I don't know what his rate would be, but I need some thousands of dollars here. I need spending money. I'll go take a date over here. Like we're talking in a hypothetical world where if AEW went out of business and then people are like, haha, what are you going to crawl back to WWE? No, he wouldn't have to. He's already put in his time there and shit. He made enough money. So that's why he's so ruthless and doesn't give a fuck. Like some people were saying to me, they're like, man, Phil, it's crazy he came after you because you actually, in fairness, are one of the people who's put him over. Because guys, remember, go back on PWT. I was like, listen, I don't want to hear any wackos going, oh, Ricochet doesn't draw ratings, because we never expected him to draw ratings for WWE. You know what I mean? That was never in the discussion. He's the guy who comes out, does the flippy crazy match, and we all go, ooh, to break up everything else, That was sort of Ricochet's role for a long time. And so I was like, that's what he's going to go do in AEW, and he's done much more than that. And I put him over tremendously as far as he is an interesting character. He's at least done work. He's at least gone out there and did what he said he was going to do, and he didn't just become one of the lost toys. He's in the mix like every show. He's on every show, right? Tony loves this guy, and he is showing a different side of himself. So he did what he said he was going to do. He did. He isn't just a guy lost in the shuffle like we all thought he would be. Good on him, good for him, but I need the IWC to understand he does not give a fuck about any of that. He doesn't care that I put him over. He doesn't give a shit if JD's complimented him in the past. He doesn't care if WWE fans hate him and they never want him back. He doesn't give one shit about any of that, which is his prerogative. And he's got fuck you money, as the kids say. That's my belief anyways, too. Like, if he's smart with his money, he should have fuck you money by this point, in which case you crushed. So speaking of Ricochet, Alfred Konuwa snapped after he went full Tom Petty here after the whole debacle with Ricochet. I don't know if he had these already made or if he whipped these up in a frenzy or what, but shout out my guy, Alfred Konuwa. He's presenting to us here. If you haven't seen this, here are 10 bald wrestlers who are better at promos than Twitter Ricky.
10 bald wrestlers who cut a better promo than Ricochet. Dax Harwood, who's a better promo in ring and on Twitter. He even has his own meme. Like most sensitive bald wrestlers, FTR bald.
Got Alfie Blood on socials, no.
Me too, brother.
Ryback. Yes, that Ryback. Ryback had a whole catchphrase.
Is Ryback better than Ricochet on the stick? Holy shit, man. Oh my God. Alfred just went, all right, fuck you then. I'm going to do what I do.
His catchphrase is a plagiarized Jada laugh. Peak Angle.
Yeah!
Hulk Hogan. No, not Terry Bollea. The Hulk Hogan character. 2019 Triple H when he was all like,
he will buy that pissant company just to fire you again.
2019 Batista when he was all like,
give me what I want.
Give me what I want is also what Ricochet said the last time he went to Turkey. Kane, who unmasked on my birthday, June 23rd, 2003, which means Ricochet was right. I'm a Cancer.
I didn't watch these before. I just bookmarked them, and I was like, I'm going to react to them on the show. Fuck, man.
MJF, pre-Turkey. John Cena, pre-Turkey. Stone Cold Steve Austin, famous for opening a can of whoop ass, whereas Ricochet's ass is famous for this joke about Twitter Ricky's rear end has been banned by the U.S. Department of...
Oh my God, dude, he fucking went there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing you can't ever live down when you want to pull this shit on people. And then, Alfred's going to do this, make his shorts and make them all fucking right. He doesn't have the following. So Alfred's like, all right, I'm just going to do what I do. And this thing's going to go viral. Fuck, man.
King shaming. Don't loop this video. I ain't done yet. You loop the video when I say you loop the video. It's way more than 10 bald wrestlers who are better.
He didn't end it. There's more than 10.
Better promo than Twitter Ricky. Bobby Lashley is a better promo than Twitter Ricky. So is Shelton Benjamin. Jadakiss isn't a wrestler, but he's bald and a better rapper. So fuck it. Jada is a better promo than Twitter Ricky. Stay tuned for my next video about this balding ballerina only on Pro Wrestling Bits. Subscribe in Mulatto. Promo than Twitter Ricky. Goldberg is a better promo than Twitter Ricky.
Oh, so we're subscribing in Mulatto now? So it was subscribe in Swahili, then it was don't subscribe in Swahili. Now it's subscribe in Mulatto. It's hard to keep up with the gimmick changes here, Alfred.
Gilbert Gilbert is a better promo than Twitter.
Gilbert, he says.
Ricky Nickel.
Oh my God, Gilbert. He went to Gilbert. So he follows it up. And Alfred says, okay, I'm tired of talking about Twitter, Ricky. Let's change the subject. Here's 5 bald wrestlers more bitter than Ricochet.
5 bald wrestlers more bitter than Ricochet. Number 5, Ole Anderson, R.I.P. Ole had so many enemies, you might as well call him Oppie Anderson. Vince McMahon
Oppie Anderson.
and changed Mr. Anderson's name to Mr. Kennedy because he hated Ole. Ole's good in my book, though, because that man violated Dave Meltzer on his own shit, and I'll always love him for that. Number 4, Ryback. Kind of the ultimate warrior of his generation, where at one point he
Yeah, it's kind of a good comparison, kind of.
seemed like the heir apparent to John Cena before he came crashing down. And now he makes a living crashing out. Having said that, Ryback has built a huge following on TikTok and has a respectable career post-wrestling. Can't be bitter at that. Number 3, superstar Billy Graham, R.I.P. As influential as it gets in wrestling, but every bit as bitter in his shoot promos about the business. And given how the rug was pulled from under him despite being white hot and how many wrestlers copied him to get over, I don't blame him. Number 2, God, this is hard. I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin was pretty bitter when he walked out on WWE, but I'm on Steve's side. Why would he do the job to Brock Lesnar on free TV with no build? I mean, I love Bret Hart, and he made bitter shoot promos into an art form, but Bret still has a full head of hair to this day, so he don't count. I mean, are there 5 wrestlers more bitter than Twitter Ricky? No? So Bitter Ricky is on the bitter bald Mount Rushmore. So like a bitter Mount Baldy. Okay, loop the video because these are...
You don't want to get into like a verbal joust with Alfie, you know? When he's like, no, I'll actually... Well, I don't know. Ricochet's good on the stick too. I'd love to see them go at it, but I don't know why Ricochet did that. Like just saying this guy's a cancer. Like I just wonder if that's him just trying to work people into a frenzy and get all this attention. Like everyone's talking about Ricochet. We talked about him this whole fucking show, it seems like.